Warning: the Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of unprotected talk, borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage.
When you have rapists, they're sending us not their finest people. They're sending us people, and it's people from other than Mexico also. We have drug dealers coming across, we have rapists, we have killers, we have murderers. Why, do you think they're going to send us, I mean, it's common sense, you think they're going to send us their best people and their finest people? The answer is no.
Yes, indeed. There used to be a song in West Side Story that no one took as, you can turn off the sound, they don't know what I'm saying. There used to be a song in West Side Story, a musical from the 60s, and no one made it into a political statement. When the play came out, then the movie, they would sing "Everything Free in America, I Want to Be in America." Well, suddenly the Hispanic pressure groups didn't go berserk in the streets. But now that they control the nation, because La Raza, as you well know, has inveigled their way into the White House, just as Al Sharpton has, we are being run by a foreign power and by an enemy of America, as sure as I'm sitting here. And Trump is right. Now, whether Trump is seriously running or not is a question. And I'm not so sure, given that he has not backtracked on saying that he would like Oprah Winfrey as a running mate. I don't know whether that was sarcastic to Staphylococcus or not. But if he's going to run and he really says he wants that left-wing woman as his running mate, then it's not a serious campaign. It's nonsense. But whether or not Trump is running, you have to admit that he's going to move the candidates to the center-right, away from the left, because right now they're pandering to the left. Right now, all of them are scared to death of the vermin in the media, the salenterates in academia. So Donald's doing a very good job for us. And speaking of cultural degradation on the Savage Nation, have you seen this story this morning on Breitbart? Italian families protest forced cross-dressing of school children. I told you from the beginning that was never about gay rights. It was never about an oppressed minority. It simply wanted equality. It was always about dominance. And we are paying the piper right now because of our tolerance. Parents from the north of Italy have organized a massive demonstration called Defend Our Children against gender ideology in schools, which will be held this Saturday in the St. John Lateran Square in Rome. What is it about? They're protesting Italian educational programs which are meant to blur the sexual identity of young children. Did you hear what the vermin are doing? In the northern Italian city of Trieste, parents are in an uproar over a taxpayer-funded elementary school program which includes dressing little boys as girls and girls as boys to overcome so-called gender stereotypes. The perverts have taken over every aspect of every Western culture, which, by the way, is why ISIS is rising around the world. Make no mistake about it. ISIS is a counterpoint to these psychotics. You don't understand that. I do. I have a global perspective. I have a mystical perspective. I have a godly perspective. And I am telling you there is a reason ISIS is making gains. It's because of the vermin who have penetrated our culture and destroyed it from within. Schools are calling the exercise the Game of Respect, which purportedly adopts many guidelines from the European standards on sex education attributed to the World Health Organization. You know who they are, don't you? You know about the perverts from Brussels, don't you? With the alleged child sex slaves that they hold around Europe. You haven't heard about that? What do you think? They're all clean as the driven snow? Listen, there's more. The so-called perverted Game of Respect consists in a box containing several cards presenting the figures of different working roles, male and female housewives and husbands, male and female plumbers and firefighters, with the figures represented in exactly the same way to show that males and females are completely interchangeable. There is also a card from the perverts with a game called If He Were She and She Were He, where boys and girls are expected to exchange the clothes they are wearing in the classroom. The boy dresses as a girl, and the girl dresses as a boy. And then they discuss how they feel in that new role. Parents in Italy are especially up in arms over the school district's attempt to conceal the program and its contents from them. The Italian father of one of the children, Amedeo Rossetti, said that in early February he attended a PTA meeting where the program for the second semester was presented. When Mr. Rossetti posed specific questions on issues of gender, school administrators, all perverts by the way, categorically denied the presence of gender-based activities in the school. The foxes are inside the hen house. They're posing as humanitarians. They're posing as liberals. They're posing as kind. They're not. They're predators. One of the goals of the protesters is the enforcement of European Art .26, whatever that is, regarding informed consent, whereby parents can ask the school to be informed before their children are introduced to courses with things like those regarding so-called gender theory, which, by the way, is a construct. Gender theory is a creation of the perverts in order to make the rest of us be frightened of them. That's my opinion. There is no such thing as gender theory. Either you're born a male or you're born a female. It doesn't matter how you act. You are born as a male or you're born as a female. Yes, I understand there's a small percentile biologically of people who are not male nor female. But by and large, we know this is a hogwash in order to confuse you. You want to hear more of what's going on in Italy? The land of the rising sun? Parents are also protesting a sex ed program for kindergarten students intended to highlight the similarities and differences between boys' and girls' bodies. The program involves one child lying down and the others placing their hand first on the child's heart to feel how it beats, and then on the diaphragm to feel it rise and fall. The text reads that quite obviously in the genital area, children can see that they're made differently from one another. Though the text does not specifically state that the children are to touch each other in the genital area, parents are complaining that it is understood that they should touch each other's genitals. Mr. Rossetti says that the upcoming demonstration in the Italian capital is absolutely essential, since it is up to us as parents to defend our right to oversee the education of our children. The spokesman for the protest, Professor Massimo Gandolfini, said that Saturday's demonstration was organized, quote, to protect our children from the propaganda of gender theories that are appearing surreptitiously in an ever more worrying way in schools. Wouldn't it be nice if we had some men in America who took time out from basketball, baseball, and barbecue to scream about the perverts who are trying to destroy their children's minds? The event will defend the institution of marriage as composed of a man and a woman, the child's right to have a mother figure and a father, without having to suffer as kindergartners the propaganda of gender ideology that even Pope Francis, the leftist, has defined as an error of the human mind. Did you hear that? Even the leftists' dream pope, who puts forth the big lie about global warming and the need for income redistribution, even that leftist pope has defined this gender crap as an error of the human mind. You see, just this past Sunday, the leftist Pope Francis spoke out yet again against gender ideology and the right and duty of parents to guide their children's education, telling them that they are the ones primarily responsible for their children's formation. Listen to this. The leftist Pope said that children today are beginning to hear strange ideas, a sort of ideological colonization that poisons the soul and the family. We must act against this, said the Pope. Francis cited a recent case where a good Christian couple with children in the first and second grade had to recatechize their children in the evenings to counteract what they were receiving from, quote, some teachers of the school or from the textbooks that they were using, close quote. The Pope said this ideological colonization does great harm and can even destroy a society, a country, or a family, close quote. So now you know the rest of the story on the Savage Nation. Everywhere we turn, there is cultural and societal degradation, whether it be the flooding of America with Muslim and other immigrants who will never assimilate to this nation. I stand by those words. Show me how the Somali community in Minnesota has assimilated to this country. Ask yourself why Obama is dumping so many Muslims in all white Christian communities. He's not doing it because he thinks they'll assimilate. He's doing it to bust up the Christian communities because the man is the devil. Obama and his minions are the devils themselves. They are out to not only remake America, but destroy America. I stand by those words. I will not back down. And someone on the Republican ticket has to stand up and show a pair of you-know-what and say something about this cultural degradation. They're talking in generic terms. Trump was talking in specific terms, as I do every day on this show. 855 855-400-7282. Any topic that I mention is fair game. And I open you up to the calls right now. Bill on KSFO, welcome to the program. What's your topic?
Hi, Michael. Yeah, I heard you mention about Trump's Oprah remark, and I think he actually did backpedal it this morning on his final weekly appearance on Fox and Friends.
Well, hold on. What did Trump say this morning about that?
He basically said, and I think this is good, that it shows that, you want to ask me a ridiculous question, I'll give you a ridiculous answer. I took it as a joke, and I gave you...
Okay, so he was saying he wants Oprah as a running mate, sarcastically, to the disgraced the disgraced faker, whatever his name was, Staphylococcus.
There you go. Yeah, and I was gratified to hear it quickly, too, because,
Yeah, so was I. I was a little worried. I played it yesterday on the show at the end of the show. Did you hear it?
Oh, yeah. I heard him say it live.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, we try to bring everything to you. Bill, do you have children? Are you a father?
I am not. I am the father of numerous musical compositions. That's as close as
now you're the father of Countdown to Mecca for Father's Day, my new novel, which I'm sure that you as a musician of all people will get. It's not for everybody. Liberals cannot read a book like this because it has too much political truth in the form of a novel. If it was about Jenny has two mommies, or Bobby has two fathers, or that the sex is an ambivalent thing and we don't know what a boy or a girl is, it would be number one on the reading list of the San Francisco newspaper. This is the Savage Nation. Shelley, WABC, go ahead. What's your topic?
I'd like to mention that I think that Donald Trump would be a perfect candidate for president, because we just have to look at the record of Mike Bloomberg, who for quite a few years pulled New York, which was probably one of the roughest cities in the United States, pulled them really out of the dirt and made it a beautiful city.
Right. When it was run by the communist bloc that is now running New York again, it was a dirty cesspool. Crime was out of control. Bloomberg straightened the city out by applying some of the same ideas that Trump is proposing. However, Bloomberg, I'm sorry to tell you, is an open borders guy. You know that.
That I didn't know, but I can say that some people say Trump has a lot of money. What does he know about the middle class and the poor? Well, Bloomberg also has tremendous amounts of money, and he has applied himself very specially to the city.
Let me put it to you this way. I'd rather have an honest rich man as a politician than a corrupt poor man. Does that work for you? Put it down. Write it down in cement. I'd rather have an honest rich man who earned this fortune than a corrupt socialist who destroys everything by stealing from the middle class in the form of taxes and regulations. That's my opinion. Are you a father out there?
I'm a father of 6, a grandfather of 30.
Oh, God, then I have to give you 36 copies of Countdown to Mecca. Would you accept one for Father's Day?
I will accept it if you would autograph it, and honor it.
I can't autograph it because it comes out of my fulfillment house, but stay on the line. You got a free, beautiful hardcover copy for Father's Day of my novel, which I will talk about right until Father's Day because it's the most testosterone-driving book written in 2015. I'm Michael Savage. I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
My Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com, the only company I trust to protect my wealth with gold and silver. Call 800-BUYCOIN. Extra, hear all about it. Italian families protest forced cross-dressing of school children by perverts in the schools themselves. 855-400-7282. We're also talking about Donald Trump, who has caused quite a stir by announcing his candidacy. And as I said to you, I certainly would support him if he runs as a Republican. I will not support him if he runs on a third party, because it will only undermine whoever on the Republican ticket runs. And we cannot afford to have Hillary Clinton as president. She is only fit to be the librarian at the Clinton Library, in my estimation. She could take tickets at the front of the library. She could arrange kickbacks for Bill, if that's what they do at the library. But she is not fit